What's going on, everybody? Super Saiyan Paul here, back at it again with another video on the Dragon Ball Super movie Broly, releasing later this year in Japan on December 14, 2018, as well as in North America next year, January. Today we're going to be talking about Broly, his character, his power level, and how he is already a better character than Jiren in my mind, and might just most likely will be more powerful than Jiren if anything. So there's a few points that I have to bring up here. Is that, remember, some of this is opinion, some of this is fact, so make sure you guys know that before you guys comment down below, and tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys prefer Broly or Jiren? I know we didn't even get the Broly movie yet, but we get a gist of what his character is like, and the fact that Akira Toriyama is correcting some of the things about him. But even if you don't consider the movie, I would honestly have to say that even if used based on what we've seen from the previous movies, I would still say Broly is a better character than Jiren. Now, I've always been a Broly fan, but even if you look at the things on the table here, Broly's actually a more complete character in my mind than he ever was compared to Jiren. Like, Jiren had a very shallow backstory. He was super hype. A lot of Jiren's character was hype during the Tournament of Power. It was a lot of his ominous quietness in the beginning, and then some of his burst of power during the tournament, like where he blasted Kale with the Ki Blast and things like that. Moments like that is where he really stood out, and pushing Goku into Ultra Instinct for the first time, that was his moments. But later on we realized this guy was kind of shallow. His backstory and everything was told in a few minutes, and that was one of my biggest complaints with him, is that he wasn't that good of an adversary in terms of character. He was just a generic bad guy, I'm super strong character. Some people liked that, some people didn't. But for me, there was that bond with Broly that Goku had. Even if some people didn't like the fact that, hey, Broly is just mad because he's crying. Things like the other subtleties of the character. They were both born on the same day. They were both born from different circumstances. Both of them had different upbringings in life. And remember, if you look at the way this movie's structured, Broly and Goku would have been one of the same if Goku did not fall and hit his head. So those dynamics add so much more history to things, and the fact that it has a bond to Vegeta as well, and Frieza, the main characters, more than Jiren did. The big three, Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza, who were also the big three in Resurrection F and all these things, we know that they're the big three, and two of these guys had like the final hits on Jiren anyway. They have a better bond with Broly than they ever did with Jiren. There's more of a historical factor and a bigger threat to their existence with Broly, in my opinion, because, I mean, the Tournament Power, they were kind of safe with Xeno and all that stuff, and they're still kind of safe in this movie, but Broly, this killing machine, is going to come out left and right and center with all of this stuff in mind. Now remember, Akira Toriyama said he was going to go and fix some of the things that are wrong with Broly. Main thing that I think he should fix is the way that he's connected to some of these characters. In small ways, I mean, I liked what they had before, but if they could fix the whole motivation of him crying because of Goku, I think that was the main reason that everyone was really mad at him, and the fact that he didn't have that many lines. I mean, if they add some more lines, he looked a little bit cocky in some of the scenes in the trailer, like when he was eating a little bit of his food and stuff like that. If they add some more lines, it'll make him seem like he's just brainless, and fix some of that stuff, because, I mean, he had about as many lines as Jiren did, I think, word for word. I think Jiren had a bit more because he had more time on screen, but if you compare like the beginning of Jiren's presence in the tournament, they were both kind of quiet. Then all of a sudden Broly goes on a rampage, and Jiren kind of did at the end, right before he was about to get ringed out. But Broly, if they fix those small things, I think definitely 100% is a better character. Not only because of historical things, but I mean just the ruthlessness of the Saiyans, him portraying everything a Saiyan should be, his bond with Goku being born on the same day, and him becoming basically a representation of what they were supposed to be, what they could have been, and what Frieza feared more than anything. Frieza didn't really have that much fear for Jiren in the beginning. He was very cocky, but when you look at this is what Frieza destroyed an entire planet over. It was because of the Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God myths and legends that were literally coming into fruition right before his eyes. So that alone creates so much more of a dynamic that I can respect as a character. So right then and there, I think as a character, Broly's already better. Now, in terms of power level, Jiren was incredibly powerful. Super Saiyan Blue, I gotta say, especially at the end of Super Saiyan, at the end of Dragon Ball Super, I have to say, sorry about that. Super Saiyan Blue has run its course. I think it's outdated. I think they've overused it for too long. The form has been out since roughly 2015, 2014 is when the movie released, or 2015, I believe it's 2015, when Resurrection F came out, and then Super Saiyan Blue was revealed. It's been years since we've had this form, and yes, we've had Ultra Instinct, we've had Kaioken Super Saiyan Blue, we've had Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. I think it's time that we try to find a new ground form. I don't want them to use Ultra Instinct right away because that's the end-all be-all of all forms. They admitted that was a mistake, but something else to bridge the gap that's not Blue anymore, because Blue, it looks sick. Blue is super powerful. We've just used it so much. It's literally the new Super Saiyan in the show, and I think something new has to fill the place. Either you got to use Fusion to just refresh the whole Blue vibe, which I think they're going to end up doing to defeat Broly, or something new, and not have that being Ultra Instinct, because Ultra Instinct is way too powerful. So the reason why I'll put this in like the category of Broly is because, one, this is going to take place after the Tournament Power. They had some time to train after the Tournament Power, after facing Jiren, and remember, they did get some hits on Jiren while in Super Saiyan Blue and stuff like that, and they all are going to be taking on Broly. And if you look in the trailer, Broly's taking on Goku all the way into Super Saiyan Blue. His shirt is ripped off. Goku's shirt is ripped off and everything. And Broly's still in base form. If you guys paid attention, at the very end of the trailer is when Goku's looking at him and he's still powering up and literally delivers the line. This guy is still getting stronger. So I would have to say, based on what we're seeing here, and if he progresses even further, if they don't kill him off right at the end of the movie, which I think they have to if he's just that much of a killing machine, but I don't want them to, because if they develop his character, keep him around. They've literally made every single adversary Goku's faced, including Frieza, almost like basically a Vegeta character. Like if you look at Tien, Piccolo, Vegeta, Yamcha, Frieza, all of them are becoming side characters to Goku, and they add to his character, and I think it's a good dynamic. I mean, that's literally what it's turning into, because death is kind of irrelevant. But aside from the fact, Broly should be probably as strong as Jiren, because none of them are able to take him down. Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza, none of them are going to be able to beat him. And the fact that Goku is in Super Saiyan Blue staring at this guy, and he took him on while he wasn't even in his maxed out form, I'm pretty sure Broly is on par with Jiren or stronger, and they're going to have to utilize, most likely, Fusion to take him out. It's not confirmed for Fusion, but if they don't use that, Ultra Instinct's gonna have to go to somebody. If it is Goku, it would be sick to see it return. However, I feel like that is the escape button, if anything. I think that would take away from the story. I think that would take away from the hype. Giving some of these other characters a moment in this very historical battle would be the way to go. Tell me what you guys think about that in the comment section below. Do you think they should return with Ultra Instinct? I mean, the fighting scenes looked amazing as it was, so I don't think we need that just to see some epic, fast movement fighting. I think it's just save that for later on, when whatever series they launch later on is going to come down the line. It has to be a bigger threat than whatever's going to happen here, because I pointed this out before. After the Tournament Power, we have literally everyone from Jiren up to the Grand Priest in terms of a power gap. All these new adversaries have to fit in between this power scaling, because Jiren was super strong. He was above a God of Destruction. The Grand Priest is one of the top 5 fighters in the world. There is a gap of power right there that they have to fill, because, I mean, if this is the top 5, there's nothing stronger than that. And then there's Jiren above a God of Destruction. There's this whole tier of fighters that I can see characters like Broly filling and reaching in there. Even Frieza, I think, can reach in there, and some other characters that they can bring back. But there's this whole new tier of a God of Destruction plus fighters, which is what I'm going to call it, that they're going to have to fill and fight. And I see Broly is going to be the first one at the mantle, and no one other than him, I think, deserves this more, because I've been saying this for years. This guy was the epitome of everything a god was. He was literally, I mean, it wasn't necessarily Super Saiyan Blue, but literally his concept design literally was Super Saiyan Blue in the first movie. Like, literally, look at it, blue hair. He was the first Super Saiyan with blue hair. I mean, come on, guys. He literally is proclaimed himself as a god, a devil, all of these things. That's what I've been pointing out for all these years, and I love the fact that they've actually acknowledged it. They are canonizing him, and the Broly fandom is stronger than ever. Remember, this is his 5th movie. There was the 3 movies, including Bio Broly, The Second Coming, and the first one, as well as the 40 movie that released in Japan, and now we have this one coming out. So I would say Broly, he's been way more developed than Jiren. He's going to be strong, as strong or stronger than Jiren. They're going to have to bring out something much, much more to take him out. Because remember, Ultra Instinct did not defeat Jiren. It came close, but it was usually, it just came down to the power of teamwork, and they took him out. But I want to see something devastating to take Broly out, if anything. And it's going to be an absolute pleasure to see. So make sure you guys comment down below. Who do you guys prefer, Broly or Jiren, and why? Who do you think is stronger? And how do you think they're going to take down this threat of Broly? In my opinion, Broly is better. He's already better. Jiren's backstory is weak. His power-ups, weak. He didn't really have any transformations. compared to Broly, who does, and it's an aesthetic change of anything, and he has some history in the series. I think Broly gets a plus across everything. I think in terms of motive, his motive is still stronger regardless of the fact that some people may think he's Ed, but other than that, if they do correct that, which I think Akira Toriyama is looking forward to, and creating just a much more better storyline, he is going to be one of the greatest characters going down in this movie of all time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Turn on notifications. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Take care. Peace.